they just don't make him like they used to. Today, Hollywood is a barren wasteland of remakes, sequels, reboots, and bloated franchises, without a quality original idea in sight. And when you do get something original, it's likely to be a resentful critique of the past rather than a respectful evolution of it.
Let the past die.
Guys, you've got it all wrong. While it's true that in technological terms, medical terms, and terms of basic living conditions, no one in history has ever had it as good as we do right now. But in cultural terms, the past was way better. Don't believe me? Just check out the films we used to have. It may be hard to believe nowadays, but way back when, Hollywood was the undisputed king of world cinema, churning out the best pictures of the year every year. Today, I'll be talking about one of these films. It Happened One Night. This film review was requested by Yankee Doodle Dandy. Thank you very much for the comment. I take requests and leave shoutouts, so tell your friends. Before I begin, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and share this video. I really appreciate it. It Happened One Night is a classic Hollywood screwball comedy film released in 1934, starring Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert. After a slow start in theaters, it eventually became a box office smash, and in the Academy Awards ceremony, it became the first of only 3 films to win the 5 major Oscars, those being Best Picture, Best Director, Best Screenplay, in this case adapted screenplay, Best Leading Actor, and Best Leading Actress. That was at a time when the Academy Awards actually meant something, by the way. The remaining 2 films to achieve this impressive feat are One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in 1975 and The Silence of the Lambs in 1991, so pretty strong company. The story is about Ellie Andrews, a rich, spoiled, high society lady who marries a man in New York against her father's wishes. We don't know much about her husband, only that her father doesn't approve of him and threatens to get the marriage annulled. He traps his daughter on their boat. Okay. But in an act of desperation, she escapes her father's clutches and sets off on her long journey to New York. On the bus, she meets a newspaper reporter named Peter Warren. The first time we see him, he gets fired from his job.
When you get back to New York, you keep far away from this office. You're fired. You don't work here anymore, and you never will.
But when he understands who Ellie is and what she's up to, he decides to help her reach her goal in exchange for the right to publish her story and save his career.
If you're nursing any silly notion that I'm interested in you, forget it. You're just a headline to me.
This is the classic tale of a man and a woman who disdain each other at first, but through their shared experience on the road, they grow to like each other, and eventually they begin to fall in love. If this trope sounds familiar to you, it's because it's the basic plot of every romantic comedy that ever existed, but this is the first. Respects are due. The 2 main characters are timeless characters in my opinion. They're both likable in their own special ways, and they both have their own unique flaws. You've got the bratty, ungrateful, and stubborn woman, who only cares about her mission, and yet we learn that she's very clumsy and can't handle certain situations by herself. We get to see her generous, gentle, and caring side in certain instances, and throughout the film she learns to appreciate the assistance that she receives, and ultimately makes the right decision regarding who to marry. That's Ellie.
If being with me is so distasteful to you, you can leave. You can leave any time you see fit. Nobody's holding you here.
12 seconds later.
Peter! Oh, Peter! Peter! Peter!
And you've also got the macho, egotistical, self-centered, and sometimes even violent man.
I'm going in now.
You do, and I'll break your neck.
Who seems to enjoy watching Ellie struggle while she's out of her element, but we get to know his softer side. We learn he has solid and good principles, and that underneath it all, he's got a heart of gold and he truly cares about her. That's Peter.
Here, hold this a minute.
Ow! Oh!
Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert deserve their Oscars. Both performances are excellent. Each character has their moments to shine throughout the film. Peter is quick on his feet and he's able to weasel his way out of tough spots. And Ellie has her own way of handling certain predicaments. The hitchhiking scene is probably the most famous scene in the film. It's also hilarious.
It's all that old thumb, see? Yeah. Now, some people do it like this. Or like this. All wrong. Never get anywhere.
Oh, the poor thing.
Yeah, boy, but that old thumb never failed.
Oh, that's amazing.
Peter tries to hitch a ride using his thumb, but after several failed attempts, Ellie gives it a shot, and, well, she does a good job. I love the writing in this film. Old films had a style of writing that I really admire. They don't waste your time. The writing is direct and to the point. In this film in particular, the writing is sharp and witty, which leads to some snappy dialogue between the characters. The dialogue is really well written. I don't even need to tell you, I can just show you any random clip from the film and it'll be a showcase for the writing. Here's just a few examples.
Oh, yeah? Now that's a brilliant answer. Why didn't I think of it? Our conversation could have been over long ago. Oh, yeah? If you keep that up, we're not going to get anywhere. Hey, Brad!
Are you talking to me?
Yeah!
Your ego is absolutely colossal.
Yeah, not bad. How's yours? You're kind of little, aren't you?
Where's the shower?
You know, your hair's cute like that. You should never comb it.
I'll find it myself.
But when anybody takes me for a buggy ride, I don't like the idea of having to pay for the privilege.
Would you take him for a buggy ride?
Yes, with all the trimmings.
There's plenty more where that came from. One particular mention should go to the whole Walls of Jericho motif. You see, the film was released during the first year of the enforcement of the Hays Code, which was a set of guidelines that basically forced filmmakers to censor their own products of any sex or extreme violence. No matter what you think of the Hays Code, you've got to admire the creative ways filmmakers went around it. At the beginning of the film, our two protagonists need to share a room, so Peter hangs a bedcloth in the middle of the room to separate between them.
Behold the walls of Jericho.
Just before the final half hour of the film, this happens. And at the very end, well, I love that. It's all done in a way that's really creative and really funny. It's the film in a nutshell. It Happened One Night is definitely a timeless classic. My one problem with the film is probably the fact that it has no musical score, but that's a handicap of older films that this film handles extremely well. This is a film that more people need to see, in my opinion. I wouldn't call it underrated or underappreciated. After all, it has a really high approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. But I don't know anybody who's seen it. People still talk about movies like Gone with the Wind, The Wizard of Oz, Citizen Kane, and Casablanca with good reason. But this film was made even earlier, and if you ask me, it doesn't fall too short of these all-time greats. Give it a watch as soon as you can.
Hitchhiking down the highway of love on a honeymoon.
Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments which film you'd like to see me review next. Also, I'm working on a new ranking video, but if you have a director or a franchise you'd like to see me rank, don't be shy. Leave a comment. Thank you all again, and have a good one.